part of what makes a workbench such a valuable tool in any woodworking shop are all the options you have for securing a workpiece. Of course, you have the face vise to secure a workpiece and hold it upright. Most benches have a tail vise, and used with bench dogs allow you to keep a workpiece flat down on the surface. Of course, there's always clamps and hold downs, but I want to talk about an option where you could add an auxiliary vise to your bench and all the benefits that provides. To do that, I've invited Chris Fitch, our creative director, to talk about an upcoming design that he has for Woodsmith issue number 233. Now, Chris, what makes an auxiliary vise such a benefit?
Well, the auxiliary vise works in tandem or as a companion to your face vise. The advantage of the auxiliary vise is that it holds your work up high, you've got good access to it all the way around, and it's versatile. I can place it anywhere there's a dog hole, and I can move the vise to many different positions.
So now, you do some woodworking outside of the work that you do for the magazine as kind of a side business and a hobby. How do you use an auxiliary vise? Because I know you brought yours in. How do you use it in your shop?
Well, I do a lot of wood carving, whirligigs, toys, things like that. And so a lot of small parts, a lot of very complex shaped parts. And this auxiliary vise allows me to position these parts anywhere I need to work on them effectively.
Now, the vise that you brought in actually was a project for Shop Notes magazine that you designed a number of years ago. And I know that as a designer, there's always a certain balancing act or compromises that you need to make. What were some of the things that you kept in mind in designing this version?
Well, with this vise for Shop Notes magazine, I want it to be very accessible. I want it to be easy to build and to use hardware that was commonly available. And so I've used a handle and hub, which were purchased. The vise screw itself is a piece of 3/4 inch MPT thread from the hardware store, and aluminum angle forms these side plates. And so all things which are easily accessible.
Sure, and even the material choice, we used white oak on it,
Yes.
and that's certainly a good choice on it. But on this vise, you took a different approach.
I did. You know, the heart of the vise is really the vise screw itself. Now for this vise, I used a 3/4 inch MPT threaded rod, but for this one, 1 inch Acme rod. So what are the advantages of Acme rod? Well, it has a heavy square thread, and that gives us a nice smooth action. It makes it bull strong, and it's also much more fast acting, and that just makes for a more convenient vise.
Right, now the threaded rod has what, 10 threads per inch?
Yes, this has a pitch of 10 threads per inch, whereas this is 5, so it's twice as fast.
And that really counts when you're switching around from part to part, that you're not just spinning your wheel back and forth trying to lock pieces down.
Absolutely.
Now what about some of the other hardware on the vise?
Well, these side plates on our original vise were made with aluminum angle, and that worked well. But I wanted to go with all steel in this vise for durability and strength. This is 1/8 inch steel plate. And not only did I want durability and strength, but I wanted something that was attractive. The inspiration for this vise was a picture I found of an antique English carving vise, and it had some very beautiful brass side plates. So I wanted to go ahead and sort of emulate that shape, because frankly, a beautiful tool, it just works better.
They really do. Now, this vise, like I said, was made with white oak. This one has a totally different look.
Yes. White oak is a wonderful wood to work with, very strong, great wood for tools. This, however, is European beech. And European beech is a great wood for tools. You'll find it being used for bench tops. You'll find it being used for hand plane bodies. It has a very fine grain to it, great strength, and one of the real beauties of it as far as making things is it has an even grain. So it just works well whether you're using hand tools or power tools.
So we have a vise that looks great and has a lot to offer a woodworker to add it to your bench. In terms of building one, because you really can't find this combination of features in a commercial vise, what's a woodworker going to learn in building one for his or her own shop?
Well, in this project, you're going to learn 3 things. One is you're going to learn some basic metalworking skills. Second, we're going to teach you how to cut dovetails using a bandsaw. And the third thing is you're going to find out that having an auxiliary vise is a great feature for your workshop.
So there we have it. We have a more comfortable working position, greater access to your work pieces, greater control for your tools, and it's something that you can build for yourself and your workbench. Now you'll find all the tips and techniques you'll need to build it, as well as the detailed plans in Woodsmith issue number 233. Thanks, Chris, for coming in.